A couple million feet all cash, baby. I eat a little cheese and a rash, baby. I eat a little cheese like snack, baby.
What's going on, YouTube? Back with another video. Today's video is episode 6 of the series Breaking Through Mental Health with Division I basketball player Kahia Warmsley. I've known her for about almost 2 years. She came on a recruiting visit to App State, and I was basically the one taking care of her, and she slept at my place. So I really got to spend time with her. We also got to work out in the gym. A lot of recruits, when they come visit, they want to go out, they want to go see a movie, and they really want to go, be social. But Kai was like, man, I really want to get a workout in. Like, let's go in the gym. It was like 11 o'clock, 12. We were in there for about an hour and a half. So we obviously really connected because, she was really all about the game. Her mindset, we also connected mindset-wise. I love the way she carries herself. Really good kid, grounded, positive, works hard, and she goes after what she wants. So I figured I would ask her to be a part of this series because I knew that she had a lot of good things to say. So just a quick little intro on Kahia. She averaged 18 points, 3 assists, 6 rebounds, and 1.5 steals in high school. She was 4-time first team All-District, 2-time All-State team, led her high school team to back-to-back state finals where she won state her junior year, averaged 9 points on 40% shooting her freshman year at Southern Miss in 2020-2021, where she started most games as a point guard, recorded a career-high 25 points against UTSA. She transferred to Tulane University a little over a month ago. Like I said before, real good kid, amazing basketball player, amazing person. So I know this will be an amazing interview.
Oh, feels good to be here. How you doing?
I'm good. I appreciate you doing this. I think with you being a current Division I athlete, I think this one is special, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
So just talk a little bit about yourself, your background, so that people know who you are.
My name's Kahia. I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana, but we currently just moved to Houston, Texas. I've been playing basketball since I was like 4. Really have a passion for the game. Played in high school. I was really successful in high school. Went to the state championship my 11th grade year, my 12th grade year. My 11th grade year, we won. My 12th grade year, we came second. Then I got a lot of offers, and then I decided to go to Southern Mississippi. I did a year there, so now I'm a sophomore, and I'm transferring to Tulane down in New Orleans. Just a bigger conference, a different look. I do have aspirations of playing, a little farther than college. I would like to play in WNBA. That's the number one goal. That's about it.
That's what's up. So why do you think there's a stigma on mental health surrounding sports?
I personally feel like it's a stigma with mental health because, athletes, they have so much on their plate. And it's a big difference between, middle school, high school, and college. And growing up, a lot of kids, they be like, oh, I'm ready. I want to work out. I want to live a college life. I want to do this. I want to do that. Not knowing that it's a lot of time, a lot of hours. Like it's way different. So I feel like a lot of people, they don't really take that time to, ask for help from people that are specialized in those, categories or whatever. And I just feel like it just builds up, and they feel like they can't talk to no one because they're set at a higher level. And with that higher level that they're set at, they really can't show no weakness because they don't know where to go. So, it has a lot to do with just keeping a lot of stuff in and not letting it out, not talking to nobody.
Thanks. So, high school basketball is crazy nowadays. It's so much more different than when it was, 10 years ago. Everything is on social media, and there's just so much hype around it. So you obviously got to experience more of the social media era. So how are you able to stay focused through, all of the hype?
I really just, me personally, again, like I just try to stay off of it. I really do. Anybody that knows me, they know when it's basketball season or just like preseason right now, I try to limit myself for getting on it so much so I won't be tempted to, be like, dang, or fall into
It's easy to fall into all that.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's way different from when I was coming up, but I just try to stay away from it. I encourage those kids, and I look up to them honestly because what they're doing is so different. Yeah, like it's so different, but I just try to stay away from it.
Right. I respect that. It's hard. I feel like nowadays, 2021, it's hard to stay on social media because I mean that's the main thing right now that connects all of us is social media. Um, so what are the differences between high school basketball and college basketball? When it comes to mental health, is there one that takes more of a toll on you mentally than the other?
Most definitely. I felt like going in my first year, as a college athlete, I really felt the difference from high school and college, like soon as I got there, like the second day. Because you're on your own. College is you're on your own. You're an adult when you get to college. And in high school, you're coming home every day to your family. Your mom's fixing those lunches and dinners and breakfasts and just you don't have to practice so much. Like high school is just whoop de woo. It's
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 fun, kind
okay.
of. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. Like it's just fun. I'm just having fun with it. But when you get to college, it's a business, so everything changes. And I really feel like it's a lot of pressure put on you when you get to college. So I really feel like that's the difference mentally, the pressure that is applied once you get there. Right.
Which leads to my next question. Being a student athlete can be crazy overwhelming. So, how are you able to stay, grounded, positive, and just, focused? Because, I mean, it's a lot juggling school, basketball, and, you got a personal life too. So, how are you able to manage all that?
Me, I try to, just stay organized, stay prayed up, um, and just stay positive and try to uplift the people that's next to me. I feel like that really impacts me. If I'm going down, I try to feed on to their positive energy and just use it to motivate myself. So I mean, I just try to stay positive, man. I mean, that's really the only thing you can do. And just know that when you do hit rock bottom or you do go down, you always got to come back up. It might not be when you want it to be, but you're gonna come back up to where you want to be. So yeah, just stay positive, keep working. Right.
So, what are some of the toughest challenges you've experienced mentally um, during your college career? I know you've only experienced, 1 year so far, but can you, the first year for a lot of athletes is always the hardest. So, what's your toughest challenge that you've experienced mentally?
Yeah. It's so crazy. I find this funny because I just went through my toughest thing ever. I think this was probably the toughest battle I've ever went through in my life. And I done been through some things. And I feel like me entering that transfer portal was whether I wanted to enter or whether I wanted to stay in the situation I was in as a college athlete was probably the biggest challenge. One, because I didn't know where I was going to go. I didn't know if a school was going to want me. I didn't know was the situation going to change. So mentally, it took a toll on me. Like I felt myself being very depressed. Felt myself being like I couldn't go to no one because the people that I relied on, they're looking at me different because I'm doing what I feel like is best for me. So I feel like just me putting myself in the transfer portal as a college athlete was probably the biggest thing for me.
Okay. Right. So since we're already on the topic, kind of want to jump to this question instead. What's your advice to those who are looking to transfer, but they just don't know what to do? Because me personally, I've had tons of athletes ask me about the process. They're just unsure of it. It's scary. They don't know what to expect. A lot of people can look at them differently, just like they did with you and myself when I decided to transfer. So what's your advice?
My advice number one would be to have faith. I feel like me going into it, I just said, you know what, this is gonna be my faith walk. I looked at it every day on the mirror when I walked in the bathroom, and I just prayed my way through it. Like, and I know a lot of people they might not be spiritual, might not be religious, but just being positive. Find something that will make you, okay with your situation by just being positive and stick with your mind and your intuition because your intuition knows what's best for you. You know what's best for you no matter what anybody else around you has to say. So me, I would say just, stay positive and also rely on you. Like It's you. You're going to be in wherever you're going. So do what's best for you, and don't worry about what nobody else saying. That's my advice. That's one thing I would say.
I think a lot of people that make, at least players, make bad decisions because they be listening to other people what they gotta say instead of just doing what they want to do. So I think it's good that you emphasize doing you, and not listening to what other people say. Let's say for some reason you're just off mentally, game practice, whatever the case may be, you're just off mentally. How are you able to regain focus, go back to square one, and just restart things on a better note?
Like on a basketball standpoint, like at
Yeah, like in a game, you're off. Practice, you're off. You're just not in the present moment. So how do you get back to the present moment and just, how coaches be like, whatever you got going on, when it comes to practice, leave it off the court and just focus on the now. But let's say you're just having a bad day. How are you able to cope through that?
Well, me, I like to talk to myself. I feel like if I can talk to myself and get in my head before anyone else can, I'll be all right. So I talk to myself, and I let my mess ups be my cleanups. I know a lot of people probably never heard of that, but the more I mess up, the harder I'm gonna go, and the more I'm gonna focus on it. So I mean, that's what I do, and I know.
Simple, but that's strong. That's powerful.
You said what?
I said that's a simple sentence, but that's powerful.
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing I've been doing since I was in high school. So that's my advice. I know I might be told, but that's my advice. That's the only thing I can say.
No, if it works for you, it can work for a lot of other people too. So, how important is it to have a good relationship with your coach where you can really talk about anything and where they have a open door policy?
Oh, I feel like, man, that is the most important thing. I feel like me, I was so successful because like my high school coach, Coach Kendra Neal, she played at a higher level. She played at levels that I wanted to go to. So I found myself, catering on to her because she's been places that I want to, go. And so I felt like she was like a second mom to me. And I really felt like that helped me with my mistakes because I know she's gonna love them. Like when she's getting on to me, it's more out of love instead of, oh, I'm mad at you or I'm, frustrated with you. And I feel like in college, when you can build a bond or a relationship with your coach, that really, really helps you. And I'm a point guard, so for me, I feel like that is, and I know you was a point guard too. So I feel like,
yeah, it's important.
So I feel like that is the most important thing. You have to have some kind of connection, some kind of bond, because
you're like the coach on the floor, basically.
Yeah, most definitely. So I mean, if you know what's your coach like, what your coach don't like, you're an extended part of your coach, and your team is going to only go so far as your point guard would take them. So I feel like just having that bond really help your team, be successful.
Right. So looking on the other side, how does it make you feel when you don't have a good relationship with your coach, where you can't really talk about anything? You got to censor stuff, got to sugarcoat stuff, and just always, walk on eggshells.
Walking on eggshells, you never know when they're gonna crack. So I feel like that's not good at all. I feel like that's kind of a a toxic situation, kind of. So I've never had to deal with that. So I really want to know how to piggyback, but I could say like advice wise, try to talk to them, try to see where they're coming from. Because if you feel like you can't make a mistake and you only grow from making mistakes, then you'll never grow as an athlete and your team will never grow as, as a family. So I feel like, that's tough. That's real tough.
Right. So I know you just finished your first year. So far, what's the biggest lesson you've learned as being a college athlete?
The biggest lesson I've learned would be to know what you're working for. Work so hard, but don't work so hard where you're working hard on the wrong things. Work smarter instead of working harder. And I know a lot of people say, work so hard, you gotta work hard, you gotta outwork the next, but no, when you just focus on and dial on what you need to work on and just, be tunnel on, your goals, I really feel like you can achieve them and achieve more just by, just being so focused on what you have going on. So my biggest advice would stay focused on what you have going on and also work on the things that are going to get you where you need to be, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So you really emphasize growing in this interview, I feel like. And I mean, I've known you for like almost 2 years. So like I really appreciate your mindset and just how you carry yourself. So with that being said, what's the difference between the Kahia from before college to Kahia a year into college mentally?
Mentally, I feel like honestly, I feel like nobody can mess with me. But that's just me. Me. Like I really feel like no one can get in my head because my first year of college, it was all head. Like it was all mental. So, and I knew I could overcome that, and that was so hard. So I feel like now I can't really, I done been through it before, so I know how it goes. So I really feel like I'm a different person learning how to deal with harder things without reacting, if that makes sense. Just change it with through time, rely on time, and mentally you'll get stronger. You won't feel as weak as you did the day before because it's a day by day process, and you'll mentally grow day by day. So, I mean, that's how I feel.
Right. I feel that. Um, Last question to finish this off. What's your advice to the athletes who are struggling with a mental health disorder and just, don't know how to go about it?
Man, talk to somebody. And I know that's probably easier said than done, but when you can talk to someone, just talking to them, just probably saying your name will make you feel a little bit, calmer. And you'll die down a little bit. Talk to someone and take it day by day. Because if you try to just want a result or want this problem to go away this quick, or you want to win, you want to have success, you want it to happen so fast, you have to have patience within, living the college, especially being an athlete life, because that patience will show you your growth over time. So I would say, just have patience, stay positive, and talk to somebody. Most importantly, talk to somebody.
Thanks. Appreciate you coming through. I noticed that you're wearing your clothing line. So if you want to talk about it for a little bit, go ahead. I can put the website down below. But if you want to talk about it, go ahead. A little bit.
Appreciate the love, dog. So I started my clothing line. It's called Kahia's Apparel. And the slogans are built, not bought, and nothing is given. I got those two slogans from, how I was raised and how I came up and where I came from and how I did it and how I made it this far. But my clothing line was started from me training kids. I know that's kind of crazy. They always will ask like, can I get a shirt or, what's something with your name on it? So after my first year, during my first year of college, I just came out with it and it's actually doing pretty good. I didn't think it would do this good, but it's actually doing pretty good.
I feel like because of the person you are, is doing better than you thought. So I respect you and I respect what you're trying to do out there and I appreciate your time. So thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
For current athletes that are watching right now, I hope that this interview gave you some valuable information, wisdom, and some tips. Like I said in the video, if you want some of Kahia's merch, her website is down below in the description box. I think her movement is amazing. Built Not Bought was written on her t-shirt, and I think those few words speak a lot of volume and power. So if you want to go ahead and support her, you won't regret it, I promise you. You already know what's next. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you underdogs later.
I'm breaking chains. Tell me feeling bubbly off the rose. Friends turn to foes, haters tell them go away. Rappers making shiggy dance like a soul train.